Hey gang, welcome back in. It's great to see everybody. As you know, I'm Christopher Heimerman, recovering alcoholic, mental illness survivor, all that jazz. And we're doing this every day, and I'm having a blast with it. I appreciate everybody joining along the journey. As always, I encourage you to share what you're going through in the comments. Share any way that any tools that you might be using during these times. And even if it has, nothing to do with addiction or anything like that, let's all kind of pull together and share the tricks to the trade as we try to get through this whole thing. Yeah, it's kind of like Voldemort in Harry Potter. I'm not going to refer to it by name anymore. I finished a thing this morning. I also got some really good advice from a friend of mine, Mindy Nienhaus, who recommend that I sort of start slowly with these videos, give a little bit of background, seeing as how it takes a little while for people to join in the discussion. So I'll point out that I finished the latest wave of revisions on my memoir this morning. And it feels really good. I still have to print it off, get my favorite highlighter and pen and go through it and sort of do some rearranging. But after I'm done with that, I'll be able to ship it back to my editor, who is going to then go through the second wave of edits, and then we'll continue to do that a couple more times, and then who knows, maybe by the time the lockdown is lifted, we might have something to shop out to a publisher. It's very exciting. A quick little recap of what we've been talking about the past couple of days. On Friday, no, that's not right. On Sunday, boy, we lose track of what day it is. On Sunday, that was the anniversary of the day that I hit rock bottom. And so I talked a bit about the trauma that led up to it, what the traumatizing events from that day, and basically surrendering and admitting that I had a problem. It was a very hard day, but I can look back on it as a turning point, which is tremendous. And then yesterday, I talked about the day thereafter and how my beautiful wife, Kayla, told me that I didn't have to continue down the road that I was going. She told me that I didn't have to go back to my job, which took a lot of weight off of my shoulders. I was basically told that I could reinvent myself. And since then, I have. There have been hiccups along the way, many of them. However, I'm very proud of where I am today, and I'm excited about the memoir, of course, and all of this work I've been humbled to be able to do. So that leads us to that Sunday leading up to intake. Sorry to use days of the week, it's kind of confusing that way. But basically on intake eve, a lot of the same sort of conversations continued to happen with friends of mine who were basically assuring me that they loved me and supported me and that they were going to help me get through the thing. So yeah, it would be kind of redundant to talk about that day. And but tomorrow's going to be a big day because that will be literally the anniversary of the day that I checked into treatment. So there's some pretty heavy stuff coming tomorrow. But for now, I want to delve into art and how we can express ourselves right now. Specifically, my memoir is going on to the next phase. For me, that's my art. If I wasn't such an incapable guitarist, I would be writing music right now, and I still plan to do that. But right now, what I can do is my art is my words. It's my story. That's how I'm documenting not only what's happened in the past, but where I am now. The last new thing that I wrote in it was a sort of epilogue for where we are right now. Obviously, these are unique times, so I thought the book definitely needed an epilogue to describe the fact that I was going to run the marathon in a few weeks and that was going to be the epilogue or closing chapter. Obviously, circumstances have changed. So writing about that has been very therapeutic for me to sort of keep perspective on my arc and how what's going on right now is only part of that arc, A-R-C. I don't think we're going to have to build an arc. God willing, it won't come to that. But so a bunch of my colleagues, artists, have lost work. And I know a lot of folks out there have lost work. And there's this scrambling and panic about our livelihood. And I know that's really hard. I know a lot of my literal artists who create paintings and drawings and stuff like that. They're trying to, they're looking for people who need to commission work right now, which please help those people out. There's a reason why there's the term starving artists. It's a very hard occupation to keep up. It's hard to follow your passion and do that. And I admire people who do. But I urge those people, I urge everybody to find your art and to go with it right now. There's this movement right now to see opportunities, to play with your kids differently, to, follow your passions or learn, or not even so much that, but learn how to bake, learn how to do a cartwheel. All these things where there's this movement of, we get to relax, we get to have all these opportunities now that we have time. And that's true to a great extent, but for a lot of people, it's hard it's hard to hear because logistically it's just not possible. I know a number of my friends have small children. They're trying to work from home full time while they've got 2, 3, 4 children who are like not self-sufficient and need a lot of parenting, a lot of love, but literally a lot of like hands-on help to survive every day. So those folks don't have time to learn to basket weave. They don't have time to all of a sudden take on a hobby. So in those instances, I urge those folks to not be discouraged by this movement or to get angry at it. I urge everybody to document what you're going through right now, however you document it. Whether it's creating a portrait, whether it's keeping a journal. And I urge you to do this because I think about Neil Young, and I think about the fact that a lot of his most famous music, he wrote it when he was like what felt like his deathbed. He had 103-degree fever, thought he was going to die, and what do you know? He wrote some of his greatest hits. And right now we can write a lot of our greatest hits, and we can create the sort of art that, if we're playing the long game, years from now is going to be as profound and as impactful as anything that we've ever done. So yeah, I obviously think about artists, people who create literal visual art, but anything that we bring to life right now will be documentation of what we are going through. So with that, I'd love to hear what you think you could create. I would love to know, I'd love to watch the process. I'd love to see those things come to life. And I look forward to looking at them years from now and then bringing them back to this place where we got a chance to create together. So with that, another quick teaser for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be intake day, the anniversary of the day that I checked into treatment. I'm very anxious about that. It's obviously going to be hard, but as always, I think pulling off the Band-Aid is important for us to heal. I see my mother-in-law is creating nail polish for her store, and that's a tremendous way. I know that's a huge way for her to express herself. And there's emotion that goes into nails. There's emotion that goes into that new recipe that you're creating. These are all ways of expressing ourselves. Even if we don't look at it later and it's like, this was this incredible piece of art that reflects the human condition. These are our personal reflections. And if nothing else, at this very moment, it's a good way to get what we're feeling out there when we otherwise are confounded what words to use. So, specific words for me. Tomorrow will be the anniversary of my intake. I'm excited. I'm excited to meet everybody back here and talk about it. It's because of you and your love and support that I can share these stories. And as always, if those stories help one person, my work here is done. So I love you all. Keep coming together. As this world is coming apart, we're going to keep coming together, and we're going to get stronger together. I love you all very much. We'll see you tomorrow.